Welcome back, Faith Mom, to our channel. Today I'm going to share with you my journey as a second time mom to meeting my baby number 2. So I'm currently 33 weeks pregnant. Baby girl will turn officially full term in 4 weeks. How fast is that? Though every mom is different, every baby, every pregnancy and childbirth is different, I hope by sharing my birth story and later on my birth plan for baby number 2, I could give you an idea on what to expect for childbirth as a first-time mom. Firstborn is a lovely, thriving, and healthy 3-year-old boy. Although as a first-time mom, obviously I didn't know clearly what to expect. I didn't have a clear grasp of um, how a childbirth goes. But even though I was like confused for the most part, I'd say that I had a very positive birthing experience, and I'm hoping that with baby number 2, our baby girl on the way, that it would be as positive or even more with my first one. So much of what helped me to have a positive birthing experience was really preparation. During my pregnancy, I was fairly active. Okay, so I was not really strict with exercise, but I tried my best to be physically active as much as I can. I followed YouTube um, tutorials on which exercises are needed for the month that you're in your pregnancy. So that really helped because when you're going to birth your baby, you're gonna need strength. You're gonna rely on your body to birth this baby out. So you have to prepare your body, obviously, for that to happen as positively as it can be. So that's important, mama, to stay physically active, to exercise, to really strengthen your muscles. When you're near your delivery, open up your pelvic area so you can just go on YouTube and search for those things. I'm not the place for that, but that's what really helped me prepare for childbirth. And I thank God that I was able to birth out my baby naturally, vaginally. I started my early labor around, I think, 3 p.m. of February 28th, 2022. So I gave birth the day after, but my early labor started at 3 p.m. So I started having contractions right after work. And around that time, I was already 39 weeks and 4 days pregnant. So I gave birth like 2 days before my due date. So I was due March 3, but I gave birth March 1. So February 28th, I started having contractions. So during this phase, the early labor phase, your focus should be on relaxation and calming yourself. So I follow Bridget Taylor. She's my favorite childbirth educator on YouTube. So she teaches you all these breathing techniques, calming techniques. So I use the de-stressor breathing technique during this phase, early labor phase. So it's just 10 minutes of breathing, 10 minutes, 10 seconds of breathing in, and then 10 seconds of breathing out when your contractions, when the waves of contractions come, you do those breaths. So that's trick technique to calm yourself down. So that really helped. And what really helped me was, of course, the support of my husband. So before this whole process, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks before giving birth, I'm so glad that I was able to share these techniques with my husband and also teach these techniques to him so that he could do them with me. And you really need that support, your moral support, especially from your husband when you're in this, testing and painful time. So it's really good to really invite your partner, your husband, to the process by teaching him these things and also giving him an idea of what to expect. Although you're maybe as first time parents, you're going through this the first time, but at least through your research, by researching these things, you can prepare ahead of time. So yeah, Bridget Taylor, definitely. have to check her videos out. And from Bridget Taylor also, I learned the importance of mindset, focusing on your mindset and mental fortitude towards giving birth. So you have to change your perspective towards it, because pregnancy and childbirth, we have a lot of fear surrounding it, right? That's how it's presented to us, because of course it's painful, it's laborious, and it demands so much. But if you just have that tiny shift in mindset, that birth is a positive thing, it's a beautiful thing. um, your body is doing a beautiful thing of birthing out a human being into the world, of breathing this life out into the world. Then just that paradigm shift will really give you, the confidence and the courage that is so much needed for such a hard thing to do. Right. When you think about that, the purpose behind birth, then you'll just have a better overall and stronger mental fortitude towards it. So I was expecting for the worst, but thank God the worst did not come. And I think it's because of that mindset shift that I learned through the videos of Bridget Taylor, that it's something that I should not fear. Birth should not be something that I do not fear, but of course I get nervous about it. But it's something that you can overcome. It's just when you focus on the purpose behind it, of bringing your baby out into the world, and when you focus on that mindset, it really changes everything. So even though I was in pain, in labor, I was exhausted, but because I was focused on just bringing this life into the world, that I'm affirming that my body is doing a good thing, that I'm built to birth, that I was built to do this. I was designed to do this. That God called me to this, especially as a Christian mom. Then that really gave me the courage all throughout, not only labor, pregnancy and labor, but raising children. So yeah, so at I think around 7 p.m. we went to the hospital, but I was still 3 centimeters dilated, and they said it was too early to get admitted to the hospital, because especially it's my first baby, so they said that it will take a while for this delivery to progress. So just maybe come back tomorrow. They told us that, so that you'll be more comfortable to go through your labor process at home. So during the early labor, you really have to, as I've already said, to relax yourself. To, of course, it's a stressful situation, right? But as much as you can, and the people around you, you have to support your body, your nervous system, to calm down and just breathe out the stress. That's why it's called the de-stressor breathing technique, because that's your focus, to relax yourself. And if you're too stressed, then it would signal your nervous system that something is wrong, like something like that. That's just how it, that's just how it felt for me. I think when I'm more relaxed, I'm signaling my body um, that everything is well. I'm, I'm signaling my body that it's doing its job right. So you have to get rid of stress. Even though it's easier said than done, you can prepare. Okay, so I'm going to share with you how I'm going to manage early labor at home. So this is my birth plan. So Joyce's birth plan. We've just divided um, the process into three parts: early labor, mid labor, and then active labor. So firstly, we have the early labor. So I want to, just like with my first birthing experience, I just want to do my early labor, to go through my early labor at home, so I'm more relaxed. So as I've already told you, right? So 7 p.m. we went to the hospital, but we didn't get admitted. We came back to the hospital the following day at around 9 a.m. And when I came at the hospital at 9 a.m. the following day, I was already 8 centimeters dilated. I don't know, but I think it's routine in that hospital to induce their patients. So I got induced at 8 centimeters, and then I think around 11:15, yeah, probably 11:15 or 11:20, yeah, 11:20, I was brought to the delivery room because I was already 10 centimeters dilated. My water broke already, so it was time to push out the baby. And after 48 minutes, my firstborn was burst into the world. So to manage my to manage my labor at home, I put in my birth plan that I want to have a music playlist played. Of course, it's by City Alight. So, you know, we're focusing on the early labor, right? To distress yourself. So anything could help. Focusing on sensory experiences that take your focus off the pain and the exhaustion would really help. And music is one thing to manage that. So during my first childbirth, also, I had this playlist played also by my husband. So specifically the night song because it was night. But I really like that song. I was really comforted and encouraged that God was holding me through the night. So I had an overnight labor at home. So just playing that music and listening and meditating on the lyrics really helped me focus on the purpose of what I'm doing than on the pain. Of course, there's pain, but it was better managed because of music. And I also put here that I want to read Psalm 23 or it be read to me while we're doing the de-stressor breathing technique. So ideally with my husband, but if it happens on the daytime and he's at work, I'll just refer to this if I do this by myself or with my mom. So mantras or verses, well, especially scripture, I encourage you to hold on to scripture, read scripture during this process to just remind you to hold on to the promises of God, right? While doing the distressor breathing technique and whatever could calm you down. So I also put in my birth plan that I want to smell a citrus scent ointment. It's very calming for me. Citrus is very calming for me. So I want also um, to use smell to calm my nervous system down. And for early labor, I want to have a relaxing technique. I mean, there's a relaxing touch or back scrub for early labor only. Okay, because if I progress to mid labor and active labor, I think just a tiny touch could agitate me. So I think I really need that relaxing touch during the early labor to just calm me down, rub my back probably, or maybe light massages. I'll tell my husband to do that for me because that really helped me also during my first delivery. Okay, I need to check my boy. We're halfway through, 5 centimeters dilated. I think I'd like to have a warm bath since water is very, very therapeutic. So I'm still focusing on calming myself, managing pain and exhaustion, and just getting ready for um, active labor for pushing baby out. Had I also had that with my first delivery. So at 8 a.m. March 1, I took a bath, and then while taking a bath, my mucus plug came out with blood. So that's when we decided and prepared to go to the hospital. So I think I'm just gonna try to do that as well. And then at 9 a.m., we arrived at the hospital. I was already 8 centimeters dilated. So we were consciously timing the intervals between contractions all throughout the labor process. So afterwards, I'm gonna have I had active labor at 11:20, but for my birth plan with the second one, I want to have active labor at clinic with my husband if allowed in the delivery room, which we did not have during the first one because it was the pandemic. So I was alone in the delivery room. But I really hope that this time around I could have my husband be present with me there in the delivery room. And then of course I want to have kangaroo care, skin to skin with baby, um, just so that we could get to know each other. Of course, getting to know each other for the first time, I think we didn't have that. It was the baby Curry was just briefly put on my belly during my first one, because I don't know if it's because of the safety protocols for COVID-19 during that time, but we didn't have that enough time. I think with the first one, and I really hope that we'd be given that um, this time around with my baby girl. I really want to just savor and cherish that first skin contact with each other, and also that really helps regulate their temperature, the baby's temperature, and also um, the skin to skin is very much needed for both bodies, mommy's and baby's bodies, to produce the necessary hormones, chemicals for breastfeeding. So during my first one, I had a hard time during the first month, um, when it came to breastfeeding, because maybe we didn't have a strong start, a solid start. We didn't have enough time. Well, I'm glad we persevered, because I was able to breastfeed my firstborn for almost 3 years. Um, but it took a lot of practice, perseverance, and endurance, um, for us to get there to that point. And this time, I just know I just want to have that solid start with my baby girl, to get in tune with each other's body, get in tune with my own body, and for her to also be familiar with my body, with my scent, so that we'll be more comfortable learning how to breastfeed. So when it comes to breastfeeding, don't get discouraged if you don't get it right the first time, although it's a natural thing, right? But it doesn't come naturally to most moms, especially to me, because I really had a hard time. It's really a skill that not only mommy has to learn, but also the baby has to learn. So give yourself grace when it comes to breastfeeding, well, with everything actually, because it's a skill that you and your baby are learning for the first time. So I'm thankful that I was able to do that with um my first baby. I'm thankful that I breastfeed him for almost 3 years. So I want to be committed to also, do that with my baby number two. If I can even extend, breastfeeding for even longer, the better. And of course, I want to rest and recover. So I will really need um, tata's help for taking care of the baby for the first 24 hours, I'd say, so that I could also focus on resting and recovering. I think 6 hours post giving birth, I fainted because I lost so much blood, right? And I really wanted to stand so that I could change. And um, I was already so done with just lying down. But I think that wasn't a good idea, because I fainted. So this time around, I just want to be gracious to my body, because it's done a very wonderful thing, a great job, and a big job at that. So I just want to listen to my body. If it needs to, more rest and recovery, then I should be gracious to just give that. Of course, while taking care of the baby, but I'd be more vocal with the support that I need now, because having gone through it, before, I realize now how much my body really needs tender, loving care during that very vulnerable state after giving birth. So, yeah, um, as much as you're preparing for your newborn essentials, don't forget to also take care of yourself, mom. Also, give enough time, consideration, and resources for recovery. So yeah, that's what I wasn't able to foresee before, because of course I was just thinking all about the baby, right? So on the recovery side, I had a much harder time recovery compared to um, how it could have been, So yeah, I'm going to improve that this second time around by focusing on what my body needs: good food, rest, and also just comfort. It's crucial to take care of ourselves as moms, because we're the primary caregivers to our babies. So if we're well taken care of as mommies, then we'll be better we'll be able to take better care of our babies. So that's something that I want to emphasize and share with you, especially if you're a first time mom, to not neglect recovery. Okay? You're doing your baby and yourself a favor. If you take care of yourself, mama, you'll be better at mothering. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for today. I hope that you learned a thing or two and that this will encourage you to look at and view giving birth as something positive, beautiful, and empowering. So I pray that God will give you childbirth, delivery, pregnancy blessings on your way. Bye. See you in the next one.